We all knew that Visa and Mastercard are lying to what happened with Valve. But now Valve are pushing back and, well, they're gonna fight this.
Valve just called out MasterCard and Visa's lies and revealed what happened behind the scenes that led to Steam adding Rule 15, giving power.
Absolutely based and huge that someone dares to step up against these companies that pretty much just control, well, everything about our lives from the shadows. This is not nothing new, by the way, where Visa or MasterCard just magically decided they don't like something and then they just don't allow you to purchase it and force people to comply with what they believe is right. This has been happening for more than 10 years, if I'm not mistaken.
To payment processors to decide what content is allowed on the platform. This controversy isn't just about games, it's about whether large corporations should be able to dictate
Gabe playing Venomancer, absolutely expected and disgusting.
what legal content creators can sell online. After tens of thousands of legal games were removed, gamers started fighting back against Visa and MasterCard by mass calling and emailing them, with numerous news sites picking up the story. This led.
And that worked, by the way. Again, we have the power. Do not listen to Asmongold when he says, oh guys, you need to comply with the government taking away your rights and implementing government ID. No, that's weakness. Weak men create hard times. We must not ever allow weak men to choose what is right and what is wrong in society. We need to fight back every single time. Making a video like this is even literally just fighting back against this absolute degeneracy.
To Visa and MasterCard both issuing responses. Visa now has a standard reply that they will share on every email or even on a call, which essentially just says they do not make moral judgments or moderate content. MasterCard also,
of course, but they do! Kinda. But they do, for sure.
Issued an official response saying MasterCard has not evaluated any game or required restrictions of any activity on game creator sites and platforms.
By the way, this is absolutely insane. The 100-strong Australian Karen feminist group literally was boasting about them contacting them and them agreeing that, oh yeah, we kind of want to censor this, you're right. They literally boasted about that. The fact that these companies are just sitting there and lying to our faces this broadly, this easily, and without any thought about this is just insane. This proves how poisonous and evil these people are.
Contrary to media reports and allegations, our payment network follows standards based on the rule of law. Simply put, we allow all lawful purchases on our network. At the same time, we require merchants to have appropriate controls to ensure MasterCard cards cannot be used for unlawful purchases, including illegal adult content. So all signs pointed to payment processors. Collective Show said it was them, Steam and Itch both said they were pressured by them, but both Visa and MasterCard tried to deny anything was happening. So this is where, just hours after MasterCard released their statement, Valve wasn't having any of it. They gave another response to the situation, which, if you know Valve, is very
based. Valve literally not gonna take it lying down. Love it.
Rare. So it seems they want to set the record straight, as Valve sent this message out to multiple journalists. MasterCard did not communicate with Valve directly, despite our request to do so. MasterCard communicated with payment processors and their acquiring banks. Payment processors communicated this with Valve, and we replied by outlining Steam's policy since 2018 of attempting to distribute games that are legal for distribution. Payment processors rejected this and specifically cited MasterCard's Rule 5.12.7 and risk to the MasterCard brand. So even though MasterCard tried to...
And every single person watching this, doesn't this make your blood kind of boil? Again, this is so much lies. And they know it. They know they're lying to us. All of us know that they're completely fine with payment processing, like off fans and things like that. They're completely fine with all of this. But Valve? Oh no, that's too much. Everyone knows this is lies. No one is buying.
Say they have not evaluated any game or platform, Valve's new statement says it wasn't directly Mastercard themselves, but someone else who Mastercard contacted and then used Mastercard's own rules as the reason for removing the content. So Mastercard, were you involved or not, or are you just using some third-party company to deflect blame like it wasn't you? When you look at the specific
I would not be, by the way, surprised if whatever that company is actually a subsidiary for Mastercard. I would not be surprised.
rule that they cited to force Steam to remove games, it gets even worse. Mastercard Rule 5.12.7. Illegal or brand damaging transactions. This is key because brand damaging just means they can remove any content they don't like. Any transaction that is illegal or in the sole discretion of the corporation may damage the goodwill of the corporation or reflect negatively on the marks. The corporation considers any of the following activities to be in violation of this rule: the sale of a product or service including an image which is patently offensive and lacks serious artistic value, such
Patently offensive. There we go, boys. It's always the woke stuff.
as images of non-consensual sexual behavior, sexual exploitation of a minor, non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part, and
Non-consensual mutilation. So what, if it's consensual, we're gonna be okay with this? Like, what the hell is that sentence even?
bestiality, or any other part that the corporation deems unacceptable to sell in connection with a mark. So this rule pretty much means Mastercard is able to point out any content they find unacceptable and get it removed, or they will stop giving you service. This rule is the exact one they use to force Valve to listen, and even though Valve pointed out that they allow all legal content, they just wouldn't listen. So what's really happening here? Mastercard's denial seems like a way to avoid bad press, but their rules are clearly the reason these games were removed. This isn't an isolated incident either. The same kind of pressure was likely behind itch.io losing its payment processing with Stripe over adult games.
itch.io, by the way, is also fighting back. They are currently trying to find a payment processor that is gonna not care about this. Which is gonna probably be a battle, because if one payment processor blacklists you or doesn't allow stuff from you, they probably are gonna all do it. Because payment processors are, in my opinion, most likely some of the most government puppets that you can find. And this will all just depend on some kind of government. Do they want this or not? It's disgusting.
Stripe's explanation also mentioned a need to follow the rules of card networks like Visa and Mastercard. Now, Valve did mention it wasn't Mastercard directly talking to them, as Mastercard talked to their payment processors and then they reached out to Valve. So even though Mastercard wants to deny it, all signs are pointing to them being involved. Now, Steam doesn't use Stripe like itch.io, but they do use PayPal. And get this, just before Rule 15 was added—
By the way, PayPal is literally one of the worst platforms ever. I am currently trying to find ways to just wink, by the way, remove my money from PayPal and just completely ditching that shit. PayPal is absolutely ass. It's insane.
some people noticed that PayPal was having a service disruption on Steam. This raises some serious questions about whether that was connected to the pressure from Mastercard and Visa. This new information that we got from Valve reveals how—
By the way, PayPal, you remember what PayPal did last time something like this happened? PayPal is fining people for offensive languages and things like that. They can literally just put a fine of 10,000 on your account, even if you don't have anything in there, and then they're gonna go to the to your credit card holder, and you're gonna be in debt because PayPal decided they don't like something that you're saying. It is insanity.
how this process works. Mastercard doesn't have to directly tell a platform what to do. They can apply pressure to the companies that handle the payments for those platforms, forcing their hand. This is a key detail that explains why Mastercard and Visa are publicly denying any involvement, because they think if they do this telephone game, well, it's not their fault, even though the reason for these games getting removed is a specific Mastercard rule. While Mastercard's Rule 5.12.7 is the one being used against Valve right now, Visa also—
And by the way, who do you think told the Valve about this rule being broken? Was it the payment processors Who know Mastercard's rules by heart? Of course no, that's a lie.
Has its own rules for merchants that grant similar power to police content, and they could just as easily use it against Steam. So although both Visa and MasterCard are trying to say they process all legal payments, their rules say the exact opposite. This allows these companies to act like gatekeepers even if it means hurting legal creators. Now, while GOG isn't directly involved in this specific issue, they have publicly taken a stand against censorship in gaming and are even now giving away free games to show their support. One of them even includes Posto 2. This highlights the growing concern in the gaming industry about this issue and how nearly everyone is coming together to fight this problem. As remember, your game might not be involved in this issue, but soon enough it will be. It's bad enough that MasterCard's rules say that they can stop you from selling any content they find unacceptable, but it even mentions non-consensual mutilation of a person or body part. So it seems like if they want to, they can turn this rule around and then go after violent games next. Either way, this issue doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. The fact Valve responded to the situation again is a pretty big deal, as they are usually very quiet. So as Valve calls out MasterCard's lies, the clash between gamers and these
True, absolutely true. Anyway, that was Water CS2, 10 out of 10. Bye.